layer of shading before we can begin painting. The character sketch is not in this Illustrator file since we drew them in their own file originally, which is fine. We'll just create a new layer and place it back into this file by going to File, Place, then choose the sketch and click OK. Since the canvas size is an A4, the sketch will fit on top of it perfectly. But of course, since we have continued to resize the characters since, their sketch work may not fit on top of their line work and base colors anymore. Since we will be keeping this shade on separate layers for each character, we can simply resize the sketch every time for each character as we work on them. Make sure to hold down Shift on your keyboard when grabbing one of the corners of the sketch before resizing, or else it'll shape out of proportion. Once you have fitted it on top of the first character you feel like shading, lower the opacity. Don't lower it too much since you won't be able to see the sketch shade on top of the line work and base colors. I lowered it to 80% in the transparency panel. Now that we can see the light source we added to the sketch on top of the line work and base colors, we can start drawing out those shapes with the pencil tool. I put the fill color on black and then created a layer on top of the layers that hold the line work and base colors of the female character at the bottom right. In that new layer, I start drawing out the shapes where the sketch shading is visible. You'll notice that the sketch shading may not be exact after the line work was created, so be sure to look at the line work as well to adjust the shading shape according to it. Thanks to the shade in the sketch, applying this first layer of shading in Illustrator will be pretty easy. Continue to apply this process on all the other characters. You don't have to worry too much about detail just yet, since this, again, acts more like a light source which will create a base for us to then paint on top of. Once that's done, we need to change the blending mode and the opacity. For each shading layer, I set the blending mode to multiply and lower the opacity. The opacity will vary depending on the placement of each character in the background.